Hello and welcome to another edition of Coach's Corner, our weekly coaches segment where we sit down with Trevor Gorman, the head men's soccer coach at the University at Albany. Thanks for giving us a couple minutes. You guys coming off a 2-2 draw against Central Connecticut State in a contest where they struck early again, and luckily for you guys, Alfonso Pinheiro comes up with 2 goals and you end that game 2-2.
Yeah, it was an exciting game for the fans. Unfortunately, we conceded early for the second straight game. A little unfortunate. It was a deflected shot that left our goalkeeper no chance. But ultimately, again, we don't want to be conceding goals at any time, especially early in the game. But you learn from things in the past, and we responded well, twice going down a goal, twice coming back. And you know, we did enough to win the game. Anytime you concede twice, you're not going to say you definitely should have won, but we created a lot. We had 21 shots to their 5, 9 corner kicks to their 1, and really had consistent pressure on them. But ultimately, soccer can be frustrating that way. You have to find those moments, and they only count the ones that go in.
And you and I have talked about this in the past, and how much an early game just changes just the entire face of the game. But you do battle back, and I'm hearing you taking some positive away from that, and a little bit proud of your team. Would you say?
Yeah, happy to see character, happy to see the attitude that's required to win games. I mean, look, we're not going to be tied or winning every single game that we play. We're going to go down. We're going to be trailing our opponents throughout the season, and probably in some important conference games. Hopefully not too many, but it's probably likely to happen. So you need the experience. You need to feel what it's like to be down, the emotions, the situation, and then you have to respond to it. And so we were able to respond to it on Saturday night. We would have preferred a victory coming out of the game, and there's parts of every performance that we're looking to improve now heading forward. But you do take the positives out, and ultimately, as we tell the guys all the time, once a game is played, it is done, and you have to learn from it, but you can't dwell on it because all that really matters is the next 90 minutes.
You mentioned Alfonso Pinheiro, 2 goals. He's getting it going now. How important is he for you guys?
You need goals. You need players to score goals, and Alfonso is a returning goal scorer, is a proven threat, and any goal scorer wants to see the ball go in the net. The confidence builds, and it leads to more. So the fact that he's now gotten a few going in the last 3 games, 4 goals in those 3 is a positive sign. Hopefully it continues, and hopefully that then also frees up a couple other guys to start finding the net. Usually that tends to happen. One guy starts scoring, and then a few others start to become complementary pieces that also can dominate the score sheet. So we're hoping, fingers crossed, that continues this week.
And Alfonso's the guy that routinely gets his name, sort of in the headline, for lack of a better term. Who's a guy for you that's like an unsung hero to this point in the season?
Yeah, we've had a couple of guys that have really done well, and every year you get a team and you don't know how the pieces are going to completely fit together until they've started to play together for 3, 4, 5, 6 games. And this year's no different. We've got a good squad, a good group of returning guys, but we have had some new guys make impacts. Carlos Clark, who did win Rookie of the Week for us for his game-winning goal at George Mason, has come in and played in the center of midfield, big minutes in a lot of games. And as a freshman, that's a big ask, but he's handled it very, very well. Also, Musa Kanat has come in, a transfer from Manhattan, still just a sophomore. And I think we've asked him to play 4 positions already this year. He's played in the back, he's played in the midfield, he's even run around up front. And those guys have stepped in, and they just continue to work hard, they grind it out, and they play simply and effectively. And they're a big part of what we're doing. So I'm happy to see those guys as well as the guys that are scoring goals. It takes everything. It takes everything and everybody, and we've got a good group that will continue to get better.
Continuing to be a refinement process as you head into America East play, right?
Yeah, 2 weeks now. 2 weeks, 3 games until our first conference play game against Stony Brook down there on the island. So we're at Lafayette tomorrow night, which we know is going to be a big mental and physical battle. Anytime you play them, that's what you get. We're at St. Francis Brooklyn on Saturday, who started the year very well. They're 4-0-2 and have had some good victories against some quality opponents. So 2 good challenges this week, away from home, which we're happy about as well. Let's get away from home, test ourselves against the opponents on their field, and that's part of the building process as well. You have to be able to win on the road.
You happy where your team's at right now?
I am. I'm happy with the group. I mean, obviously, any coach is a perfectionist, and you want to try to always be that little bit better, but I like who we are, and now we're a third of the way through the regular season, as crazy as that is. Now's the time when you start to separate yourself. In the early parts of the season, teams all over the country are winning some, losing some. Everyone's excited and fired up going into the new season. Now you get into late September, early October, the heart of it. And we're confident that we can be defined as a good team through that stretch.
What's different about this team at this point in the season from where we were sitting a year ago?
I think experience and maturity more than anything else. It's a lot of the same guys. Certainly we like who we've added, so we always feel like we're upgrading our team talent-wise, but just more and more guys that have been there, have done it, and there's nothing that should surprise them anymore. So with that comes a little bit of self-assurance and confidence within the group, and you can really see it. So we're trying to keep the mood, that equal balance of focus and intense, but also light and enjoying the process, and just remembering that we know how to play. We're plenty good enough, and if we take each game as it comes, 90 minutes at a time, and we put our best mental and physical effort forward, we think we're good enough to win.
All right, thanks for giving us a couple minutes, and of
Absolutely.
course, best of luck at Lafayette and then at St. Francis.
Appreciate it.
All right, that'll do it for this week's edition of Coach's Corner. As always, you can catch us next week as we look back at the Lafayette and St. Francis matchups, and of course, look ahead to the rest of the non-conference schedule and then into America East play. For Trevor Gorman, I'm Zach Bye. We'll see you next time.